Hey, it's Earth Day this April, so let's create an amazing infographic about green technology using Adobe Express. So for this challenge, I've got a page here which you can find in the description, which contains all sorts of information, words, and also useful images that you might need for this challenge. And if you open up the words link, there you go. You've got all sorts of different things that you can use as your examples for your infographic. So let's get going in Adobe Express. Let's press the plus here, and I'm going to go to custom size graphic, choose an easy one like an A4, print, and click next. First thing I'm going to do is name my project. Let's call it Earth Day. And I'll get rid of this templates thing because we're doing ours from scratch. And the first thing I'm going to do is just click on the image itself or the canvas itself, and I'm going to choose an image for my background. And I'll choose this one here. This looks pretty funky. And now you can see that the image is off to the right hand side here. So all I have to do is just click and drag and get that right over there. Perfect. Now, because this is about green technology, I'm going to click it, filters here, and I'm going to look for a kind of a duotone filter, maybe flip this one around. That green's a bit bright for me, so I might move over here. That works really well. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is going to put a kind of a header on here or a title on here. This headline template here is something that I really like, so I'm going to start by using this. Now, what you can't see is it's actually made up of two pieces of text here. If I click on this one just in here and change the color of it to white by dragging my little color wheel circle up to the top left, you can start to see now there is extra text in there. Now I will click on this buzzworthy bit and I want to change that. Now I'm going to click back on it again because it's grouped, which means the two pieces of text are kind of linked together. And I'm going to start scaling this up so it's in the right sort of position at the kind of size I want it to be. And that works well for me. Next, I'm going to click on the red text there. I'm going to change it. I think what I'll do is use my color picker. Yeah, quite happy with that. I might even use my slider to make it stand out a little bit more. And then here, world news you can trust is starting to get lost. So just click a few times until it gets selected. And here, because of the theme for Earth Day 2023, there we go. And then I'll start playing around with where that sits and how many lines it sits on. And then just move it into a different position. Next thing I'm going to do is go to my text here. And I'm just going to choose 3 of these examples here. Maybe I'll start off with the transparent solar panels. So what I'll do is I'll copy this text. And the first thing I'm going to do is just put the text in there itself. So click text, add your text, and then I'm just going to paste it in there. Now, obviously this is too big, so I'm going to start reducing this down, right down, and then I'm going to align it to the left. I'm going to make it pure white, so I think I'll click in there, and then I'll choose a font which I think is a little bit clearer. Now, I know that Economica is a font which is very nice and clear, so I'll choose that one. And then I'll move it into the sort of position I'm thinking that it's going to be good in. And then what I'll do is I'm going to add a shape to it. So just click that there. And obviously the kind of color isn't what I'm looking for. So I'm going to click the color and maybe give it this kind of green background. Why not? Maybe make it slightly darker so it kind of makes the text easier to read. That's good for me. And then I'll also change the shape so that it becomes kind of a rounded box. There's a link in the description with all sorts of different images which you might want to use. Now, this is about transparent solar panels, which I think are incredible. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to right click it. I can save it as an image, and I'll do that now. And I'll just call it solar. Then go over here, and then what I can do is go to photos, upload a photo, and there it is, solar in there. That's one way of doing it. You can also copy and paste it, which is quite interesting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to resize it. But before I decide that's where it's going to finally sit, I'm going to go to crop and shape in here. And I'm actually going to turn it into a shape. Now I could do a circle, and then I'm going to click the tick there to say done. And then I can resize it and then roughly put it, there we go. That looks like it's lining up horizontally and vertically as well. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is to make this a lot easier for us, I can select this piece of text here and click duplicate. Now what that's going to do is going to give me the same font, same colors, all sorts of things the same, which makes things a lot easier to kind of move around because you know it's roughly the size that you need in order to create some good alignment in there. What I'll also do is select my image and duplicate that as well, because again, I want it to be the same sort of size and I want it to be the same shape as well. But obviously my next piece of technology, I think I'll go for this wave energy one. So I'll go back, and now all I have to do is select my text and then just replace it with this piece of text. Now there's a little bit more text in here, so the box is a little bit bigger, but generally we've got the same sort of size and it's roughly in the same sort of position. And then I can go to my image here. Now what I want to do is I want to replace this image, and I'm going to right click it, and then I'll save this one as waveline. There we go. And again, what I can do here is press replace, go to upload photo, select the waveline one, and it means I don't have to do any of that work of aligning and things like that. For my third and final section, again, just duplicate it. I'm going to move it over to the other side now so it kind of breaks up the layout a little bit. Stick it in there. Again, the box is a little bit bigger, so you can play around with the size of that box, just reduce it down ever so slightly. And what I'll show you here is, rather than taking the image and duplicating it again, what I'll actually do is go into my page, find the one which is all about vertical farming, maybe this one because the colors are so good, and I'm going to copy it. This works really well if you're in the browser rather than on any of the apps. And then you can just paste it in there. Now obviously the size isn't quite what we're looking for, so let's select it. Let's do our crop and shape, and then select it as a circle. Very nice. And then what we can do is we can roughly use our eyes just to get it the same sort of size as the others. And then also that means I can stretch out this box as well. It's doing kind of funky things, so just click one of the alignment buttons and it will resize itself quite nicely, and then just play around till it's in position. There we go, nice. All we need to do now is we can download it. It will download with the project name that you gave it. I gave mine Earth Day, and it's going to go to my computer, click save, and then I can press share, publish, choose Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or click link. And there you go. That's how you create an incredible Earth Day infographic using Adobe Express. And I'm looking forward to seeing yours.